Hey everyone, I'm Ms. Milkowski, the mathematician, and today we are going to evaluate expressions. All right, so like I've said in previous videos, this comes from a worksheet that I created, so in the description you can see it there. Also, I use GEMDAS, and you can click right there to see a video on why I write it that way and use a G instead of a P. So let's jump in. All right, so anytime we evaluate an expression, we must follow the order of operations. All right. First, G, grouping symbols. Do I see any grouping symbols? I do. I see parentheses around the quantity 1 plus 3. So that means that I am going to do that first. So 1 plus 3 is 4, and then that is squared. All right? So now this is my last step, all right? All I'm going to do is, what is 4 squared? Okay, because I've eliminated anything. I have one more operation, and that's squaring 4. So 4 squared is just 16. So there you go. So that's nice and easy. All right, now let me show you something that I see a lot with my students, okay? So we're going to rewrite it over here, okay? 1 plus 3 squared, okay? You want to know what I see students do a lot? This. Now, I'm not sure, it's like they distribute the squared to both terms inside the parentheses. I don't know if that comes from, I've noticed that students just absolutely love just the distribution process. So anytime they see something like this, they're like, oh yeah, let's go, right? So I think that's great. I'm so glad that when students, that students love to distribute. It's a great thing to do. It can be helpful in math. However, I'm guessing that's where that's coming from, but that's actually not correct. And let me show you why. All right, so this is wrong. No, never do that. Never, ever, ever. When you have addition in here, now if it were multiplication, you could do that, but we have addition in here. We cannot distribute a squared to both terms in there, all right? So let me show you something which I found when I show this to students, it makes them understand it better. So that's why I'm going to show it to all of you today. All right, 1 plus 3, the quantity 1 plus 3 squared. Now, when we see a power like this, what we know is that this squared is telling us that we are repeatedly multiplying this quantity twice. If it were cubed, we would be repeatedly multiplying that quantity 3 times, right? Basically, what does it say? This is what you're multiplying, and this is telling you how many times you're doing it, right? So, let's think about that, okay? What it's telling us is that we are taking this quantity, 1 plus 3, and we are repeatedly multiplying it twice. So we're doing 1 plus 3 times 1 plus 3. Now, of course, you can write that as 4 and 4, and 4 times 4 is 16. But let me show you an interesting way. We can actually multiply this through, okay? So let's think about it. I know a lot of kids are familiar with FOIL, so that's the way I'm going to do it, okay? So first, so that's 1 times 1, or I'm going to write it as 1 squared, and you're going to see why in a second. Okay, then 1 times 3, 1 times 3, plus 3 times 1, plus 3 squared. Now look at this, okay? You had wanted to write this as 1 squared plus 3 squared, okay? Which I said was incorrect. You can't distribute that squared to both terms. Here's your 1 squared. Here's your 3 squared. That's why you can't do it, because you just knocked out this, what I call the outside-inside terms, right? You just knocked this out. You just said that didn't exist by distributing that squared. So that's why you have to do it. You have to evaluate either this and then squared, or you have to do it the long way through foiling. So then this just becomes 1 plus 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 1 is 3, plus 9, so this is fun. 1 plus 9 is 10, 3 plus 3 is 6, so that's just going to be 16. So, I hope you kind of found that cool. Teachers, if you haven't seen that before, I hope you found that cool and you can share it with your students. And students, I hope that makes you realize why you can't do that. And the whole reason why is because you make this disappear, right? We don't want to make anything disappear. So there you go. Hey everyone, I'm Ms. Milkowski, the mathematician, and I hope you found that last video helpful. If you have any questions or if there are any topics you'd like to see me cover in future videos, definitely let me know in the comments below. Thank you again for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'm going to leave you with the most important piece of advice I can give you, which is when you're doing mathematics, always ask why.